very fast because we had to get through this. We still had a deadline, which was not flexible. Young Living wasn't going to push the convention off just for me. So having a fixed deadline is very powerful. Would you guys agree with that?
Yep.
That's why we do deadlines. A goal is just to dream with a deadline. So, and I talk about this in the start of the book. One day I was working with her and my brain just stopped working. That's not good if you're trying to edit a book. I said, I'm going to take a walk. I don't know what's going on, but I can't think anymore. I take a walk outside. Luckily, I have my oils with me. Of course, what speaker doesn't come on stage with oils in their pockets? Right? Young Living, we do. So I go outside, and I think, well, maybe there's an emotional component to this. So I do my technique. I wanted to edit my book, thoughts, feelings. All of a sudden, I'm brought back to this memory from 30 years ago. I hadn't thought of it 30 years of this time when I was in the track team. I was not a great athlete, but I enjoyed it. Joined the track team, and it was the first race of the season. It was a 1-mile race. And so I get out there, and the gun goes off, and I just start running as fast as I can. And so after the first quarter mile, I'm ahead of everybody else. My team can't believe it. Ben's ahead of everybody, so they're cheering me on. After the second lap, I'm still ahead. I think this is great. I'm an Olympic athlete. I didn't realize you have to pace yourself for the mile. So the third lap comes around, I'm dying. And my legs just stopped working. I like, why can't I go any faster? People start passing me on the left and on the right. And I crossed the finish line, maybe 5th or 6th, not trauma, not a big T trauma. I didn't realize it, but my brain had formed a negative thought at that time that said, you are not strong enough to finish.
Wow.
Pulled out my oils, smelling the oils into that memory. Memory dissolves, breaks up. Brain turns back on, says, let's go in and finish this.
Wow.
So this is what happens. We're all walking around with these negative thoughts we don't even know that we created from experiences from who knows how long ago. So what I have developed is actually a system. It's step by step. It works just about every time to dissolve these negative thoughts, really to free you up to go do what you're here to do. How many of you feel like you're here to do something?
Woo!
How many of you would like to do that thing?
Woo!
Okay, stand up, everyone, please. First of all, because you need to stand up anyway. It's been a long time in here. Okay, give a little stretch. Okay, we are going to do a power pose, and I talk in the end of the book about the research at Harvard University. If you stand in a power pose for 2 minutes, it raises testosterone and lowers cortisol. We're going to do just like 30 seconds, but... Okay, so power pose is chest forward, arms up, or even slightly back a little bit. Now, when you're in this power pose, I think this is a great time to affirm some stuff. So I want you to affirm, I am ready to go after and achieve my dreams and goals.
I am ready to achieve.
I am ready to let go of what no longer serves me. I am ready to learn a technique that can help myself and others. My brain is working beautifully right now. Now turn to your neighbor, give him a high five, and say, I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad you're here.
Now everybody else is going to follow.
How's that feel, you guys, okay? Great. We have to bring the body in. So Dr. O'Brien says, all this stuff is stored in the body, so it's so powerful when you're using our body. Use your body to shift your mind. The responsive smell is powerful and it's automatic. As Dr. O'Brien said, our brain responds immediately to smell, and it can't help but respond. If you smell some leftovers that have gone too long in the fridge, you recoil, right? That's a survival mechanism. That's so you don't eat something that's gone bad. Animals in the wild have to smell what's poisonous and what is healthy. Well, we're going to turn that on its ear. We're going to use that fact, the power of smell, to change our brain, and we're going to use that to our advantage in this technique. The amygdala, I don't need to mention much more about it, except that it is the alarm center of the brain. It is the panic button. And again, for our survival, that rabbit, when it smells the predator's scent nearby, immediately kicks into high gear and gets the heck out of there. That's how it survives. So the amygdala is scanning the environment, often through the sense of smell. That's the most immediate trigger, the sense of smell. All the other senses have to be filtered before they get to the amygdala. So the sense of smell can immediately trigger the amygdala into alarm. Well, guess what? The sense of smell can also immediately trigger into non-alarm, into safe. It's safe now. Healing, we have to move into a space of feeling safe. When we're remembering these traumas, when I'm remembering that time that I didn't win that mile race, there's a little bit of emotion when I would think about that. Well, we could use a sense of smell to let that emotion go. Okay, so this was originally speaking on clarity, confidence, and joy. Just really briefly, confidence is what you get with this technique, because when you think about all the things that you wish you could do, whether it's being crown diamond, whether it's having a loving relationship, whether it's feeling healthy, wealthy, and wise, if you don't feel confident that you can do that, then you can't step into that reality. So by releasing the blocks to that, you're going to gain confidence. Clarity. We can't make good decisions when our emotions are clouding our decision-making process. This is a surprising effect of this technique. I didn't realize when I first created it, but when you have a decision to make, you make your intention is that I am clear about which direction to go, whether it's which college to go to, which person to marry, which food to eat, and you clear out the emotions that are clouding that, all of a sudden you get revelation, you get information, this is the way to go. And joy. We become joyous when we start getting all the loads of CRAP off of our shoulders and all the stuff we've been carrying around for so long. Once that's lifted, once we're lighter, we feel more joyous. And people who are joyous and people who are radiant are going to build a great business because everyone wants to talk to them, right? People want what you want. Like Shannon was saying yesterday, if you're stressed out all the time, do you think someone's going to want what you have? No. So we get all that. So it's like I was calculating how many years of college I had to go through to get this degree. And I don't want you guys to have to do that. You don't have to. You follow the steps. Make it simple. Identify what you want. That's step number one. That's what you're going to do today. I'm going to have you set an intention today for something that you really want, something that's in your heart. For me, it was to write a book. For you, it might be something else. It might be a rank in young living. It might be a relationship. Clear out the inner resistance you have to pursuing it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to clear that resistance out so that you can do it. But then step three, you have to learn and practice skills. I ask people sometimes, I did this technique with someone, I said, what's your goal in young living? I was working with them on business. She says, I'm going to be a Royal Crown Diamond. Great, well how possible does that feel? That feel like a 10, I know I can do it. Okay, how comfortable do you feel talking to people? Oh, well, I'm kind of scared of that. Well, guess what, guys? You got to learn the skills, practice the skills if you're going to get the goal. So just because you've cleared out your mental blocks and feel that you could do it, the next step may very well be, I'm going to go to some trainings. I'm going to learn the skills I need to learn. And then you have to take action every day. There's 12 steps. I don't know why there had to be 12, but there had to be 12 steps. Maybe some of you know. There had to be 12 steps. And the 12 steps 1 through 11 I can take you through. Step 12 is take action. And that's what you have to do after you leave this room or after you leave what you're doing. So that's how we do it. Okay, so this is a short time I have with you today, and let's get down to business. So I want all of you to have a pencil and paper out. Also, we're not going to be passing oils through the whole crowd. You guys have to rely on each other. So I want you to pull in your pockets, your bags, your purses, grab 2 or 3 oils. And if you have a neighbor, please share with your neighbors. Don't smell them yet, though. Don't smell them yet. Oilers always jump the gun. They figure, oh, it's a good time to smell. Hold on. Some of the oils I recommend: lavender, stress away, frankincense, all from what? The starter kit. Thank you. I developed this technique as something that you can do in an intro.
You have my pen. Med brown.
Other great oils: inner child, release, transformation.
Did you take
You
it
have
from
them. If not, any oils you have. The oils are flexible, and we're flexible. We'll use whatever oils we need to balance ourselves with.
Do you have a pen? I brought like 7 with me. bet you there's some in that bag too.
Okay, step one is to set your intention. And everything I'm showing you here, just so, so I don't explain it 100 times out there, there's 2 books. There's the Aroma Freedom Technique book. This was the original book that I wrote back in May. Goes through the science, goes through why we get stuck. It has the 12 steps right in here. You don't need to write these down. I'll make this available on Shannon's website so you guys can all get it there. It's also in the book. So this is the original book, Aroma Freedom Technique. I also created the step-by-step quick guide. It's a small little book. Doesn't have all the background. It's visual. It shows, these are slides right out of this book. It'll show you what to do each step of the way. So this is great if you're teaching classes and so on. So set your intention. I want you all to write down an intention. Something that you would like to have happen in your life. Now, intentions are powerful, even more powerful when we set a deadline to them. Like I had my 15-day deadline. It wouldn't have triggered me if I didn't have that tight deadline. Do you want to be silver? When do you want to be silver by? If you want to be crown diamond, when do you want to be crown diamond by? See what information comes. If you want need to speak to your boss about a promotion, when are you going to do that? It could be a goal also like just to feel harmony in my relationship. And that could be now. I want harmony now. So whatever that is, write your intention down. And then I want you to rate how likely it seems, how likely it feels that this is going to happen. And we rate it from 0 to 10. 0 is we feel totally hopeless that this could happen. Just hopeless. And a 10 is we're totally confident that it's going to happen. Now, if you're already at a 10, you don't need the technique, because the goal is designed to get you to there. Even if I want you to choose something that's maybe in the 4 or 5 range. Now, zeros are okay. We work with zeros all the time. This is a big group, and I can't be as personalized with you, though, so it's up to you. If you want to do your biggest thing now, you can. Something that you're at a 3 to a 5. Sometimes I will use clarity or another oil if a person is really stuck and they just say, I don't know how to put into words. Use your clarity oil to get clear. Step number 2. Actually, before we do step 2, just throw out at me some of your numbers so I know where you are. 7, 3, 5, 6. I would challenge the 7th person to put a tighter deadline on to make it harder.
They'll be back in time.
Challenge yourself a little bit. You'll achieve more growth if you start with a 5 or less, somewhere in there. Okay, step 2, listen for the negative voice. So read the intention to yourself and listen. What is the negative voice telling you that tells you this can't happen? That it's not possible? Write it down, whatever it's saying. It might be saying, yeah, right, or that can't happen, or you're too stupid, or there's no way, or you're ugly. Whatever it's saying to you. Really, we talk to ourselves way worse than we would ever talk to anybody else. Write down that negative voice. Step 3, once you have your negative voice, notice how you feel when you hear that negative voice. I want you to find one word. Put it into one word. Sad, lonely, hopeless, helpless, frustrated. You say, well, I feel like he doesn't love me anymore. That's not a feeling. That's a thought. Feeling might be lonely or sad or scared. One word. Notice how you feel. Put it in one word. Next step. Notice where you feel it in your body.